All right, ladies and gentlemen, we should be back. Hopefully, we've got sound and all. Apologies for the delay, but apparently that was a spectator issue. So apparently they were all in their cars driving around on their formation lap. So clearly another Cody's issue. But Scotty and Tetris back to bring you the race action. So there will not be a formation lap. So when we see the lights, they will be the 5 red lights to lead us underway. As we just wait for the countdown. If anyone is listening, please remember your setups, because I feel like a default setup around here will be absolute dog crap.
Yeah, I think a setup around a default setup around any track is probably not great, but around here, a street circuit, specifically this street circuit, it would really not be preferable.
Wouldn't surprise
So
me that
yeah,
it would give you maybe default 5, which is the lowest setup probably. Wouldn't surprise me, and give you absolutely no speed in the middle sector. But we are back. Oh, and actually we've got the right change of right time of day, as I get it out.
right.
So we are in the sunrise conditions now. So obviously we were during the day, but as I said, it wasn't going to matter too much. But because we had the lobby reset, we got the proper time of day. So just wait for the guys to do their setup and tie strategies. Tetris, I think you went mediums, I believe, last night. Medium hard as a basis, and then
So
obviously safety cars.
yeah, so the strategy, the two default strategies that the game offers, medium hard with a one stop, medium soft, there's only about 2.5 to 3 seconds difference in the projected race times. So look, with the race, oh, we're going straight to lights. That's
Yeah,
right. So I'll stop talking,
no,
and
that's all right. We got the 5 lights, and we
we
are
are away.
underway. So it looks like
Toddy
we've got
gets away well.
got all 18 in, but it's going to be Mercy sticks the nose up the inside, but Toddy will have the best line through as we go through turn 1. Looks like all 18 cars are facing the right way, as we've got the Red Bull, as we've got a Haas down the inside. Do we all make it through? No, that's now pinned into the wall, and I think that is Medi. It is. He's at the back of the grid. So a little bit of turn 2 carnage, but it seems like we've made it all through turn 3 at the moment, but that's an Alfa
Oh, we've
Romeo.
got a
Yeah,
got cars
that's
going straight ahead. Swiss Lord is out. He's went straight ahead at turn 3. I think he was battling with
safety car.
Yusuf and
Yeah,
Bang.
and unfortunately, that's a straight shot use of big penalty because he completely botched his braking point at that braking zone, and unfortunately sent Swiss Lord into the wall, ending his race 3 corners in. So yeah, Swiss Lord won't be too happy about that, and Yusuf may could win this race, but he's probably not going to keep it unless he gets like a 15-second lead, because that was a pretty much a murder, you could say, from the Alfa Romeo driver, unfortunately.
Murder in Azerbaijan. It's the next Sherlock Holmes movie. But yeah, so look, let's have a quick look at the position change. Few decent position changes. We've got the top 5 holding position. Marty B. Santa up 1. A Dog down 2. Fuller. Oh, what's going on there? Fuller is.
He's had a bit of an issue, so hopefully we get no one picking up some silly penalties. Medi definitely has a silly penalties because he sped under the safety car, unfortunately. So a bit of an issue with the Delta. So his race has not got off to a great start with the spin and the collision. Not sure if he's picked up any damage at the moment, but we'll see if he does come in. The safety car does help him if he does have any damage. Looks like everyone else has sort of been able to get away cleanly. I say that, but Beng's got no front wing, so he's been obviously involved possibly in that Swiss Lord Yusuf incident. So he's going to get a
Yeah, he
brand new
was.
front wing.
At the moment, the only driver in the pit is Bang, so I feel as though at least he didn't DNF, but definitely come out of that incident worse for wear. What's going on there? They're taking Aston Martin, not exactly setting any records on that pit stop, but luckily it's a safety car, so he's going to join in P17
I know.
for the restart.
100%. But while we're under safety car on lap 2 now, we'll have a quick look at the tyres, and similar to what we saw yesterday in Tier 3, top 10 starting on the medium tyres. Broseph, who was outside the top 10, he's got on the set of hards and moved up a spot. And then a few of the boys further back, Sam and Sam and Bang, I think, started on the hards. Bang obviously having to come in for a front wings, but Liquid Jake as well, starting from the back. Medi was probably the highest placed driver on the medium tyres. He was going to go long, but unfortunately, obviously a little bit slow off the start. Possibly could have put him in that position to have the collision, but again, I did see a Haas up the inside quite late at turn 2, and I think spun him, so that I don't think was Medi's fault with that spin. So we'll have to sort of wait and see what happens with the any stewards inquiries afterwards. But Toddy, he got away well. Mercy tried to challenge him at turn 1, but the Red Bull driver holding his own early.
Yeah, so as we saw before, all five top five drivers have retained position, have held position, which is great news for McLaren. And obviously good news for Red Bull as well. It's Toddy getting off to a great start. Safety car restarts at Baku because of the long straight. There's two different approaches. Obviously, you go early so that you can try and outrun your opponents to turn 1, or you wait till the last minute just before the line and then go late. I mean, there's obviously pros and cons for both strategies when it comes to the safety car restart, but we'll see what Toddy decides to do. I mean, there's not really a huge amount to talk about when it comes to tyre strategy. Obviously, we've got a few drivers down the bottom of the field, as you said, that started on the hard, so they're going to want to go quite deep into the race, probably around lap 17, lap 16 or 15 or 16, maybe 17. But look, from experience last night, the rears on both the softs, the hards, and the mediums, they just give out. Like there's so many low speed corners. There's so much pressure and force put onto the rear axle of the car through this circuit that your rears just basically they're almost double what the fronts are by the end of 5 laps.
Yeah, and we saw that with Quick Killer last night with the soft tyres, that they pretty much, he pulled away on that last restart and got the gap to nearly 2 seconds, but he said the rears went after three or so laps, and that allowed Gob to really close in. So there's got to be you've got to try and manage your tyres as well as possible in the early part of the stint, but you start sliding your car around, that just adds more wear to the rears, and you sort of have a little bit of a sitting duck. But thankfully Gob just couldn't quite close in to about that half a second that he needed to get the move done on the final lap, and a bit of better savvy battery management from Quick Killer helped him with that race win as well last night. But yeah, definitely a few of the drivers struggling last night, so hopefully a few of the boys tonight sort of saw that was due out the safety car come in just to manage the rears.
Yeah, and also, you did mention the savvy battery management there. Look, there's a tendency for drivers all the way up and down the field to just spam that overtake button early on and not conserve any battery. And look, I think if Gob had had one more lap and a little bit more battery, he would have had Quick Killer at the end. And it's good to see. Big shout out to Gob, the Red Bull driver. He's had podiums in multiple, and it looks like, yes, he's had multiple podiums across a few different leagues. So just sitting on board with Toddy at the moment. I think he's actually gone.
Yeah,
early.
Yeah, he really slowed up the field, knowing that he could try and gap the field, and it has worked. But this is the issue, that if you do go early, the driver behind has got a lot of tow, but it has worked for him, and he's got 6.5 tenths. But it's going to be Buster really close behind the other McLaren. And do we see any moves into turn 1? I think we're all safely through at the moment as we start lap 4. So I think we're all pretty much in the same position. Battle Cut really hounding A-Dog for P8. And it's just got to be a matter of just holding off a little bit. But Buster in P4, he was going to try and go out the outside, but he'll have a bit of a switchback. Aussie defends that well. But Buster really hounding the McLaren driver at the moment. as you got Yusuf going past Wayne into turn 3 and gets the job done up into P12.
Yeah, Buster really on the gearbox of the McLaren driver of Aussie, but Aussie defending really well, making his car as wide as possible as they come down into that terrible turn 6 that we were discussing earlier on during the broadcast. Through the castle section, everyone seems to be going through it quite safely and maintaining position. And as we know, DRS will be activated after 2 racing laps, so they still have 1 more racing lap to go before that DRS, which gives them an extra 16 to 20 kilometres of pace down the straight. But at the moment, everyone up until P12 are actually in DRS, so that's a massive DRS train. And it looks like Toddy has already pulled out almost a 2-second gap on Mercy.
Yeah, that's impressive.
Very impressive, and the McLaren drivers soon to be coming under attack from behind, I would imagine, on the next couple of laps.
Yeah, and remember how I said in qualifying that he wasn't hitting, he was about 10k slower on the compared to a lot of the other drivers, and I reckon that's what he's done. He's gone more downforce, can absolutely fly in the middle sector. That's why he builds up his time. He loses a bit of time in this section of the track.
Just on board, sorry, just to interrupt, A-Dog and...
There's Broseph in the wall. And virtual safety car. Yeah, I was sort of around that battle. We saw a few guys sliding, but unfortunately, Brosep's finding himself in the wall and being on the hard compounded tyres, he's going to have to come in for a front wing, and that's going to pretty much screw his race. It's probably going to have to go to a 2-stop now.
Yeah, on the hards, he won't get to the end on mediums, so he'll either go medium softs or he'll go softs for the next stint and then mediums at the end.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was on board. Sorry, just to jump in. I was on board. A-Dog, a lovely move into turn 1, overtaking Santa. A lot of room, a lot of space given by Santa on the inside, and A-Dog on the outside got the move done, heading up into turn 2 just before we had that incident with Broseph.
Yeah, A-Dog's showing some good speed. He lost the position early on, but he's clawed that back. Medi has served his drive-through, so he is right to go. And as I said, you try and serve your drive-throughs as quickly as possible, because that could have easily been a full safety car instead of the virtual. So he is good and clear as we just wait for the VSC to end. Shouldn't be too far away. But yeah, Toddy with the 2-second lead. He massively gone, and Aussie, I think he's just got to stay with his teammate at the moment. He's got a lot of pressure behind from both Williams, but just manage the tyres a little bit. I reckon if we get a safety car in the next 3 laps, we'll see all the medium runners in as we've gone back green flag racing, and it looks like we have been able to avoid all the issues, but it's going to be Buster who's got the run on Aussie with the Delta ending. As we do have DRS, he's going to go to the outside line. Can he get the move done around the outside? He does. Buster into the top 3 now.
Oh, there's been some overtakes down at the back.
Yeah.
Broseph in, Deadly Fuller in. Medi will probably overtake them because he's just served his drive-through.
Sam's gotten past Wayne as well for P12. So, again, a couple of the boys, whether they've just been caught out just when the Delta ended and just haven't quite had the pace, but a couple of moves done, both the... I was going to say both the Alpha Tauris, but no, one Alpha Tauri, Wayne right behind. But back towards the front, Buster got one McLaren and he's right on the back of the other McLaren. So Buster's showing good pace early.
Yep, Buster's showing great pace getting past Aussie on that safety car restart. Must have just had his Delta right in the right window, and maybe Aussie just wasn't as close to his Delta as Buster was. So yeah, now there is Buster in a McLaren sandwich, and Daniel Starr putting a little bit of pressure on Aussie from behind as well. So now we've got, looks like we've still got a DRS train all the way back to Santa from Mercy. And looking at the delta between Toddy and Mercy, he's pulled almost 3.5 seconds.
Yeah, he's
loving that clean air out front.
Yeah, he's found another second on this restart after the VSC. Bus has actually dropped out, so Mercy's maybe just burned a little bit of his battery to keep Aussie out. Buster out. So now Aussie's going to try and do the exact same move, but he backs out of it. Obviously, he wasn't as comfortable trying to go around the outside. Probably wasn't just close enough, but he's now right on the back. Buster. He was going to be pressuring Mercy, but didn't have the best run through 18 and 19, and that's really putting the pressure back on him with Aussie down the inside, and he's going to have this cleanly done before he gets turn 3, and does so. It's a double McLaren back on the podium at the moment.
Yeah, look, this is about the time when those rear tyres on any of your compounds just start to it almost feels like you're floating through corners, and when you rotate that car left, you just get it almost seems like you get too much oversteer, and you're constantly trying to compensate for that lack of rear traction. But yeah, this is a great little battle. Like I said, we've got a DRS train. Oh, and Alan Sander going very close to the wall in turn 10, 8, 9, and 10, but managing to keep it clean in the AlphaTauri. Oh, we've got a yellow flag.
Oh, bang
That's
out.
Bang. Bang is out. Where has he gone?
That's the castle section. That's turn 8.
That is a stupid corner.
Medi taking real care, but his car's disappeared, thankfully, and that is safety car done, and safety car number 2 out, so... What do the guys do? I feel like the medium runners are going to have to come in, I reckon. If you can get a free pit stop onto the hard compounded tyres, you feel like you've got to take it.
There might be some engineers actually suggesting another, like 2 stops. So suggesting a soft and then or a hard and then maybe a soft for a late safety car, because that happened last night as well. But we've got Toddy, Aussie, Buster,
unfortunately,
Daniel Starr, the Williams are going to double stack, the McLarens are going to double stack.
Yeah, I was going to say, this is really going to hurt them, so it'll be interesting to see where these guys feed out. Does Toddy get out? He does. He actually lost a bit of time for whatever reason, because he had a big gap, but then obviously closed that down, maybe making sure that his delta was completely safe. But yeah, Mercy, Buster. So Buster's gotten ahead of Aussie again.
And we've also got a couple of drivers. Well, we've got 3 drivers that have decided to stay out. We've got Liquid Jake, who, as I said before, it's his debut race for Inters tonight, this afternoon. And we've got Wayne Morris from Tier 3. They've decided they like that track position. They fancy their chances of still making this a 2-stop with the hards onto the mediums later on. So that's going to be interesting on the safety car restart with all of... the guys on pretty much brand new hards behind them, apart from Medi, and Marty B on fresh mediums.
Yeah. Jake, you should be good to go. It hasn't given you in-game penalty, so I reckon I'll just stay where you are. But yeah, to your point, Wayne definitely liked it last night, and he actually he was keeping Quick Killer behind. Quick Killer was, I think, from memory, about 8 laps younger tyres, but it couldn't actually get past the Haas of Wayne. So Wayne was liking the hards that had a little bit of wear on them, and whether Quick Killer had burned out his mediums, his old hards as well. But Wayne wasn't afraid of the top guys and actually kept them behind. So as this strategy could work out again, he probably got a little bit unlucky that the safety car got called 2 laps after he boxed. And then he picked up a bit of front wing damage before he stopped as well. But yeah, Wayne liking it. It's going to be interesting to see how Liquid Jake can do this restart on his debut. But yeah, Toddy in P3, it's going to be interesting. As I said, with the higher downforce, it'll be interesting to see how we can get these moves done. And because I don't think turn 1 may be a viable option unless he pretty much burns all his batteries. So you may see him possibly go a little bit of interesting moves, maybe into turn 3, potentially if he gets a good run out of turn 4, around turn 5 and 6. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how Toddy does go with these moves, just running that little bit of extra wing.
Yeah, look, we've just had a message from the Aston Martin team pit wall, and it was just driver error. There was nothing wrong with his tyres. He didn't. I don't think he was actually involved in an incident. He just miscalculated a braking point and just lanced that pit wall, turn 8, I think it is, and then sent him sideways. And yeah, once you've gotten to that position, it is game over, dude. So very unfortunate for Bang, a really great driver, and we hope he's okay after that incident.
Yeah, a little bit disappointed. Obviously crashing out quite early. Obviously, we're not even halfway, but spices up the race just a little bit. Obviously, as we said, 3 drivers staying out. Medi back up into P7, obviously 7 that drive through and having that spin on lap 1. So we'll see what his tyre wear could be in a few laps' time compared to all the new runners. But as I said, another safety car, and him and both Jake and Wayne back into it in a good position with the new medium tyres or even possibly soft tyres, depending on if we do get another one and how late. But yes, only lost 2 drivers, still got 16 in the field. Broseph obviously right at the back, unfortunately, with the bit of front wing damage he picked up prior to the VSC that we had a couple of laps ago. Sam doing all right. Welcoming him back. We haven't seen him for a while, so good to see Sam back in a race car.
Yeah, big shout out to Sam, our head admin. It's good to see your name back on the left hand side of our screens as we watch Tier 2. We feel as though the safety car will be back in at the end of this, after this lap.
Should be.
Yep, we've just had a message from race control. Safety car will be back in. So we've got Liquid Jake leading us away. He's backing the field up, making sure his tyres are up to temperature. Looks like he's got the right strategy for that. And
Gonna be interesting. The 2 hard runners up the front on about 20%, where you're about 5 to 10% off that first cliff that sort of happens now at around about 25-30%. But as I said, Wayne did quite well to actually keep the fresher tyre drivers behind him last night. So we'll see how we go. But when's Jake going to go? He's leaving it a little bit later than what Toddy did. So obviously the guys have just got to be wary. Obviously you can't make an overtake until after the start-finish line. So as long as Jake holds his speed, which is what he's doing at the moment. So it's just a matter of when he does go, and obviously Wayne and Toddy have got to be, and he's gone now, and has caught out Wayne as well. It's got to be mercy on Toddy actually for P3. Toddy really have to try and defend, and he's done just that. So Toddy stays in P3. We've got Daniel Starr on Marty around the outside. Lovely move from the Williams driver. Marty drops down to P9. As can we go closer? Marty actually gets that job back as Toddy already passed Wayne. Obviously those fresher tyres and the more downforce able to take turn 2 quite nicely. And it's got to be Mercy on the inside, and Wayne just lets him go. Obviously championship leader there, so I don't think Wayne's going to want to really get in that particular fight. So he's dropped down to P4, but Liquid Jake leads the way on lap 10 of 26.
And Toddy is obviously got past Wayne. Mercy's past Wayne as well, as you mentioned. So Toddy is now in hot pursuit of Liquid Jake on 7-lap younger tyres. He'll definitely have an advantage, but just playing it very smart, not doing anything stupid, because obviously it's a really, really difficult part of the track to follow, but also a even more difficult part. So is he going to get? He gets a great drive out of that first corner, but
risky to go
Jake
here,
goes
Toddy.
That's very, very close. But both drivers giving each other space as they come down to turn 15. Toddy's going to probably want it, or he's going to want to get that done very soon. So he just waits to the exit of turn 16 on the throttle, and he is on the overtake button. He is on a mission now to get past Jake and put as much space between himself and the cars behind. Wayne Morris already 2 seconds behind Mercy. He does that.
Oh, and Medi's gone. And he's taken a few of the guys with him. We've got a roadblock at turn 19. Thankfully, only 2 drivers have got involved, but that's our 3rd safety car. And obviously, when you run into another car, that costs you a 5-second time penalty. So I think Deadly's going to serve that straight. No, he's going to stay out. But safety car. So Medi hit the wall, and unfortunately, A-Dog, unfortunately, he didn't have anywhere to go, and adds, that's your 2 drivers gone. Oh, the worst possible luck. Medi crashes and takes his teammate with him, unfortunately. So we'll
Yes.
see where everyone goes. The lane centre has to go in for a front wing. Wayne obviously jumping onto those medium tyres. 15 laps is a stretch, but in saying that, he's made his pit stop and will be on the quicker tyre. So,
Broseph also, Liquid Jake also, everyone else staying out, but we've got the two drivers that led away the safety car. They've all both come in for the mediums,
yeah.
so a little bit earlier than they probably wanted to, coming off the hards, but they could probably make it work with another 2 laps probably from the safety car, and also Broseph and Santa making their pit stops. I would imagine due to damage.
Yeah, they're definitely damaged. Liquid Jake, obviously, the safety car, you have to take advantage of it. Obviously, a little bit early. Both him and Wayne are probably a little bit unhappy that the safety car came out straight after the last one. But yeah, that's unfortunate. Ads, yeah, Medi crashed at turn 19. And obviously, considering that being a street circuit, he sort of crashed right on the racing line. Unfortunately, A-Dog had nowhere to go, crashed into him, and a few of the other drivers picked up damage, but thankfully both in the race still, or those other guys are still in the race. So, yeah, you didn't have the much that luck on the safety car restart, unfortunately, Ads. So, Broseph drive through penalty spinning under safety car. Brosep's not having his best day today either. He's had a couple of little incidents with the wing changes, and now he's going to have to serve a drive-through penalty when this safety car comes in, unfortunately.
Yeah, the Ferrari TP having a bit of a not a very great day, but still, look, it's not. We're not even halfway through the race. We've had 3 safety cars, two full course safety cars, and one VSC. This is our second. Is our second? No, this is our third.
This is our
This
third
is our
safety
third
car.
safety car. So we've had 4 safety cars of one version or another. Look, that incident with A-Dog, it actually reminds me of Inter's, I think it was Inter's season 2,
Season 2,
or
Tier
maybe even
1.
season,
Yeah,
yeah,
Ads just put it in the Twitch chat. He wanted me to ask you about that particular incident.
yeah. So I actually hit Prime, one of our long-standing members who doesn't race much anymore, but yeah, I came around that exact same corner to find the McLaren of Prime Megabee, also known as GOQ, facing the wrong way. And yeah, look, there was just nowhere for me to go, and it was pretty much the same outcome as A-Dog and Medi had. So yeah, thanks for reminding me of that, Ads. I really appreciate that, bro. Um, but yes, this is going to be hopefully. I mean, how many safety cars can you have on this game? I
If
think
it's
there is a limit, isn't there?
Yeah, with reduced you can have 4, but the game does tend to like to chuck in a fifth safety car if you're lucky enough. So yeah,
It's not
just
like
we
not like
could.
Codemasters to make shit up like that as they go
Yeah,
along,
so
is it?
we could have 5. As I said, it's meant to be 4. Most of the time, if you've got a lot of safety cars, it's usually 4, but it does like to chuck in a fifth one every now and then. So there was a race that I either raced or Oh, sorry, I raced a particular race at Imola, and it was a full Inters conditions, and yeah, we had 5 safety cars. So yeah, it does like to happen on reduced safety car, but it is in this lap, so we didn't have to wait too long to go back to green flag action. So Toddy from Mercy from Buster, they're your top 3. Toddy did a brilliant restart off the first safety car, so he's going to try and do that again. But I think Mercy will sort of be a little bit more wary of where Toddy wants to go. So it'll be interesting to see if Toddy does mix it up a little bit.
But Mercy is sitting back almost a second. It looks like, oh no, he can't be. Nah, that's a cooked delta. It's saying it was 1.4 seconds behind Toddy, but then he came around the corner and he was literally like on his gearbox. So anyway, we are waiting for the safety car
Toddy's
to go.
gone,
Toddy has gone,
but
getting
Mercy's
a good drive, and Mercy
has stayed with
right on
him.
his gearbox, stayed with him for this time. Is he going to go for a move into turn 1, or is he just going to play it smart? Looks like he's just going to sit behind, take that slipstream, and just stay within the 1 second so that he can make that happen.
Oh,
Aussie trying for a move up the inside, but Buster just closes it out, closes the door shut, and we are all through turn 1 by the looks of it, clean as you like.
Yeah, through turn 2 as well. I think what an Terry of Sam getting past Deadly Fuller as well. So obviously Broseph at the back, he's got to serve his drive through, which he'll probably do at the end of this lap. Marty really.
Oh, and Deadly Fuller's gone into the back of Sam, but hasn't. He's made some contact, but hasn't spun him. Sorry.
No, you're right.
Oh, he's
But
gone straight ahead.
yeah, he's gone deep, unfortunately. So not the restart the Deadly Footer would have liked, considering how well he went last night. Showed a lot of speed, but that's unfortunate. Yusuf up into P7, but has to back out of a move on Daniel Starr. So really close. Toddy already a second out of Mercy's DRS, but Buster really closing in, and Marty on the medium tyres closing in on Aussie as well. So very interesting for this top five. Marty obviously feeling a little bit better on the mediums, considering that a lot of those laps have been under safety car.
Yeah, and as they come around to the final corner of the first lap after the safety car, there will be no DRS down this main straight. They will be wanting to try and conserve as much battery as possible, but still stay as close as they possibly can to the cars in front so that they will be able to keep that DRS on the car in front to not lose too much. But it looks like Daniel Starr has just been overtaken by Yusuf on the straight. Yusuf was obviously on the same life tyres, but Daniel not fighting that too much, living to fight another day, and he gets it cleanly into turn one.
Yeah, Yusuf had a really good run through 18 and 19 and pretty much had Daniel Starr just out of the exit before the last little kink at turn 20. So Yusuf showing he's had good speed. And remember, Yusuf started from the back of the field. So we'll see, and he's right on the back of Marty already. So I wouldn't.
What did I say?
Yeah,
doesn't mean if he starts at the back of the field he's gonna be disadvantaged. He's making a massive charge, and Timmy, the TP from Alfa Romeo, smacking his chops here at the moment with that charge through the field that Yusuf is currently undertaking.
Yeah, but just remember that Yusuf possibly under a steward's inquiry after the first lap collision with Swiss Lord. So obviously, just got to keep that in the back of our minds. But Yusuf, this is a great drive so far. And if he can find himself on the podium, he might be he'd definitely be in a shout for a driver of the day. But at the moment, out the front, Toddy 1.3 ahead of Mercy, who's just broken Buster a little bit as well. So it's going to be, again, like we saw last night, an interesting fight for the final spot on the podium. Buster just keeping Aussie at bay. Buster will need to try and have DRS for Mercy. He has a bit of a slide out of turn 17, which he won't really like.
Bustus has got back under a second. Oh, he's just ducked outside. So through that third sector, he managed to make up some time, but just on the straight. And now DRS has been activated. This is where Buster needs to close that gap. He's got like a tenth that he just needs to make up to get back there, or else he will be under real threat from PRL behind him, the McLaren driver. But Yusuf sitting right on the gearbox of Marty B, the Ferrari driver, who is now currently in P5. And it looks like he's going for a move. He goes around the inside and takes the inside. Marty B, oh, he tries to go around the outside, misses the wall, but it's kind of a clean overtake. They gave each other space, but yeah, Marty B just making sure that he doesn't hit the wall on the exit of turn 3.
Yeah, Marty obviously he tried to fight that, but obviously he does have a championship to fight, to remember to fight. So as I said, Mercy's only a couple of spots up the road, and as I said, Yusuf might be able to get Mercy to cost him a couple of points as well, because Yusuf is flying on those hard compounded tyres. But so is Toddy, 2.2 ahead of Mercy. Again, it's Buster that's lost DRS, and unfortunately he's going to be in a little bit of trouble with the two guys behind. Because Aussie, he'd like to find himself on the podium once again this season, and he's shown some great driving form in this race. As we've still got 11 laps left to go in this one, and we do know that it only takes one little crash to send the safety car back out. But on board with Aussie, it's only half a second, and that's sort of what you need to get a decent chance at turn number 1. And yeah, Aussie really taking 18 and 19 quite nicely, and he's already on the back of the Williams, and with DRS, it's going to be a very, very simple move.
I mean, is Yusuf going to get him as well? He's quite close behind. Obviously, Buster a little bit of a sitting duck down that straight. No, Yusuf just tucks in behind. I feel as though it's going to get quite spicy towards the end of the race. We've got a lot of drivers going to be on some very, very old tyres unless they decide to pull the pin and go for a another pit stop to get some fresh tyres on. I don't think that's going to happen, but yeah, there's going to be some very, very worn tyres at the end of this race with a lot of marbling on the insides of the rear tyres.
Yeah.
But following Yusuf at the moment, he is right on the gearbox of Buster, who is still maintaining a decent space between a decent pace with PRL Aussie. He definitely still has a lot of fight left in him.
Yeah, and actually, with the this little train, Aussie's having to push, and he's close right up to Mercy. That gap was 1.3. It's now 0.6 of a second, so Mercy's going to have to be a little bit careful of Aussie, and Buster's nearly about outside that 1 second as well. So, obviously, Buster's maybe just struggling with the tyres a little bit more than the guys around him, and he needs to close in that 1 second, otherwise he will be in big trouble from Yusuf behind, and I think Yusuf, will actually have the grip, even if both have DRS. He's really good out of turn 16 and through 17, 18 and 19 as well. So on board with Yusuf now. Buster, I think he's just out. Where's the detection point? Just
here.
Yeah, it is too. So it'd be interesting to see if he's got DRS, but he might already be in trouble as DRS gets activated for Yusuf, goes down the inside, and that's going to be a very easy move. So Yusuf up into P4. He's only one spot out of the podium positions, but he's got two McLarens that I may think might try and work together to try and keep this double podium. But you can't count out Yusuf because he's flying, and he's still got plenty of laps left to go. 10 laps left. He's burnt a little bit of he's burnt plenty of battery, but he can easily save that if you just follow the car behind. But we'll see what these McLarens do as Aussie really hunting down Mercy now.
Oh, he's gone straight on. That's Buster.
Oh, no.
He's missed his braking point. He's had to go straight on.
So, on board with him now. Just has to be careful about the rejoin. He does that, but that's really unlucky from Buster. Yeah, he sort of had the same thing. Had a bit of an incident last time out in Singapore where he unfortunately got wing damage and then binned it on the pit exit at Singapore. He just lost it on cold rears. And, unfortunately spun it into the wall. But, yeah, Buster, he shows good pace. Just hasn't been able to nail it at the moment. But, as I said, he's still in this race, so can still score some good points for Williams, especially if we do have a late safety car. But opens the door for this battle for P2 now, as Toddy's clear off in the distance now, 5.5 seconds nearly. But it's going to be a choice of who we think is going to finish on this podium at the moment. Can both McLarens hold it, or do we reckon Yusuf can pinch one, and maybe even Marty, or even Liquid Jake? Liquid Jake obviously was like 12th to that safety car restart. He's already up into P6.
Yeah, look, just looking at what Yusuf is doing at the moment, he's managed to save about 20%. He's got DRS activated. We'll see if he actually goes for a move, because obviously PRL has the DRS on Mercy. No, it doesn't go for a move. He is harvesting. He's got a bit of strategy. He knows he's got some time up his sleeve. He probably has counted out P1, but he's definitely got his sights firmly on P2. So it looks like he's harvesting, just playing it really smart. And he doesn't have any threat behind him. Marty B in the Ferrari is almost 2 seconds behind him. Yep. So he doesn't really need to push at the moment. He just needs to conserve his tyres, do a bit of harvesting, stick with these McLarens, and see how the rest of this race unfolds for him.
Yeah, and these medium tyres that stopped under the last safety car are really working out, as we saw Lane Center get past Battle Cat in the P9. So the old hard runners, Daniel Starr, Battle Cat, Buster, obviously falling through the field a little bit. Marty, obviously on those 3-lap older mediums, he's still in the hunt, but he's got Liquid Jake behind him. So I feel like that if he keeps going the way that he is, he could be in a shout in this train for P2, because that's what it is. It's a train now, and as I said, we said Toddy was 5.5. He's now 7.5. Toddy is flying.
Toddy is today. It's Toddy Verstappen. But just quickly, I just wanted to draw your attention to the gap between Yusuf and Marty B. It's gone from 1.9 seconds down to 1.2. So Marty B finding a little bit of pace, maybe using some of that battery that he's stored up, and he's closing on Yusuf. So Yusuf's going to come under a bit of pressure from the Ferrari driver if he doesn't, watch. He's going to have to start looking behind and in front.
Yeah, and that's sort of telling me that Mercy, I don't think quite has the pace, because obviously Aussie's not going to send like a very late lunge or anything like that. He's not going to do anything too stupid, knowing that his teammates in this championship fight, and they're both. McLaren's obviously currently on top of the constructors' championship for tier 2 as well. They're not going to try and take each other out, but I think that just tells me that Mercy's pace isn't quite there, and thankfully for him. Oh, you had a moment there.
Sorry, Aussie just glanced the exit of turn 2. Glanced the wall. I think those rear tyres, are just really not working for anyone apart from Toddy.
Yeah, and as I said, I think Toddy's height downforce. Toddy has a little bit of a slide out of turn 6 himself. As I said, that the high downforce, he was confident he could get pole with it and have clean air, and it's working out for him that he's just got so much more grip in this part of the track that he doesn't have to worry about being overtaken, so he doesn't need the top line speed, and he's managing his battery perfectly fine. So, as I said, it's going to be a battle for P2 at the moment, unless something happens in terms of a safety car, but yeah, Aussie definitely looks like he's got a bit more speed than Mercy, but I don't know if you really want to swap him as Deadly Fuller. He has retired in pit lane, so we're down to 13. So, obviously, top 15 scoring points. Oh, and was that a little bit of a touch from Aussie against the wall? The fast right-hander of 14.
Ooh,
Left-hander of 14,
Yusuf's got a bit of a run on him. He's closing up very quickly as he exits turn 16. We'll see if he actually goes for a move now, because he's saved up a fair bit of battery, but also...
Mercy had a shocking exit. Mercy had a shocking exit through turn 16, so I'm on board with Yusuf now, so it's going to be really, really close, and I think...
Oh, they're swapping positions. I think the McLarens are going to swap positions.
I think they have to, but you've got to have to watch Yusuf, because he's got the run on the other McLaren of Mercy. Does he send the move down the inside? That's good teamwork from the McLarens to not hold each other up, but wide from Aussie, as we've got lost Sam. He's lost it, and this is the safety car.
This is that late safety car that you were talking about, mate.
Yep. And I think if you're everybody, you have to come in for fresh tyres. We know how much more...
But everyone except for... Hang on, who's in? So we've got Marty B,
Elaine, Buster, and Broseph.
So Marty B, Santa, Buster, and Broseph have all boxed.
Yeah, thankfully for all the others, Toddy was obviously miles ahead, so safety car wouldn't have... caught the leader and obviously backed him up. So, as I said, Toddy, I feel like he's got nearly under a reduced pit lane because we're under a delta. He'll come in for sure and put soft tyres on. If everyone else, you have to. With how good new tyres are around here, I have a feeling that every single driver is going to come in for soft tyres. There's no point. There's no point risking it.
We saw it last night. We had who was in front last night? Wayne Morris was on older tyres and Deadly Fuller was on older tyres.
It was more so Deadly Fuller on, I think, 8-lap-old mediums on that last restart, and he sort of just sunk a little bit, unfortunately. So you just need fresh tyres around here. There's no point. And as I said, Toddy, he feels like he's got pace to... We've seen his pace so far, so I'd imagine on soft tyres he can just breeze, especially in the middle sector. So I think he'd be fine. If someone stays out, I feel like Toddy and even Aussie and Mercy as well, just with the tyre delta, new fresh soft tyres, you surely have to come in. And Toddy's definitely in. Obviously, don't do anything too stupid under the coming into pit lane. We've seen a couple of times people been in pit lane around Baku. It's a shit pit lane entry, as we know.
They should call it shit lane.
For here it is. Oh, and I thought Yusuf was going up the rear of Mercy, and Mercy's going to get held. So Yusuf is actually going to... Yeah, so Yusuf's actually going to jump up into P3 here, and Liquid Jake might actually jump him as well. And what about Marty B, who boxed under the Delta? Watch for the Ferrari.
Yes, that's what I was going to say.
Oh, this is going to be close. Marty's burning all of his battery.
Spicy.
Marty up into P3. Does he beat Yusuf out? He does. Marty's up into the podium positions at the moment.
That's worked out brilliantly for the Ferrari driver.
So Toddy
has worked out well.
Yeah, so he obviously boxed. Same as Liquid Jake. He's on fresh tyres and up into P5. Mercy's dropped down to P6.
That is a nightmare for McLaren. Having to double stack. Uh, I mean, he had no other choice.
He had
Literally
to,
had no
yeah.
other choice. If he'd stayed out on old hards, he would have been an absolute sitting duck. He would have been overtaken by the entire field by the end of the first lap. So,
And
yeah,
just
look, he had no choice.
Yeah, and just remember, the McLarens made the swap, I think, what,
Yes,
5 seconds before Sam Binder in turn 19 and caused this late safety car.
it was literally just before.
Yeah,
That
just
is,
it's unlucky, and unfortunately, whoever was going to be the second McLaren was always going to lose a couple of spots, and unfortunately, that's what happened. And Mercy is right down in P6, where he's been running pretty much P2 the entire race.
and this worked out beautifully, absolutely beautifully for Ferrari, and specifically Marty B, who is P2 in the championship. Oh, a spicy end to Baku Tier 2, I feel, is on incoming.
Well, it's going to be just an interesting race, and we've got less laps than what we did last night, so it's going to be a fantastic race to try and watch. As I'm just having a P2, sorry, P3 to P6. Ooh, just look at the current championship standings. If the drivers finish as they are, Mercy finishes this race with only a 1 point lead over Marty B. If they stay where they are. So that double stack for Mercy potentially is going to cost him quite a bit.
Yeah, look, I feel as though they had no choice to double stack.
Oh,
They also
Elaine,
didn't really.
why has Elaine come in? I think he's picked up wing damage because you wouldn't make that stop. He was on brand new tyres. So has he had a bit of a collision underneath the safety car? Is he getting a front wing? He is. So Elaine was running in P7. And unfortunately, he's getting that front wing change. He'll be back. He will catch the train, but such a good result for Elaine. He might still get a good result, but unfortunately, he's going to have to do it
Oh,
the
look,
hard way.
it's definitely not over. He's definitely set himself a bit of a challenge, Santa has. What I was going to say before was the other thing they didn't really have a choice on was swapping positions. Mercy was struggling a little bit.
Yep.
If Aussie had stayed behind him, Yusuf would have taken Aussie, and then that would have split the McLarens. So for them to swap positions just before that safety car came out, they didn't really have a choice
Yeah.
to do that either. They had to do that, or else Yusuf, it would have compromised Aussie's race to keep Aussie behind Mercy. So that was just an unfortunate stroke of the universe in that respect for the McLarens.
Yeah, Mercy's had good speed on new tyres. Obviously, those hards at the end of his stint, just really struggling on them. So, obviously, he'd be thankful that he's on new soft tyres as well as everybody. As you can see, everybody on soft tyres. There are no penalties across the board. We'll have a quick look at the position changes. And obviously, as we sort of said, Yusuf and Liquid Jake, they've been the two biggest movers, up 11 spots apiece. Wayne doing a really good job after racing last night, up 6 positions as well, and in probably a better spot than what he was last night. So hopefully he can get these last 5 laps nice and clean, and he can be right in the shout for some good points. But we should see the safety car coming in this lap. We do, so it's going to be a 4-lap sprint for the end, so there will be DRS the last 2 laps.
Yeah, we'll see if Toddy takes them away early or he leaves it later at this point.
Well, he's got the other McLaren behind him now. He doesn't have Mercy. He's got Powerol Aussie. So what can Aussie do? Can he potentially sniff a move up the inside of turn 1? And what about Marty B? We haven't seen him on the top step. Can he finally crack the duck and get up there? It's only going to be a short while before we find out all our answers. And what about Yusuf? Can he find himself on the podium from the back of the field as
And
Toddy
look,
waits?
I was just going to say big shout out to Liquid Jake sitting in P5 on his Inters debut. And obviously Mercy is going to be wanting to make up as many positions as he can in these final 4 laps. So yeah, looks like Toddy is leaving it quite late. He's just
Toddy's gone. Oh,
no, he hasn't.
He's got to be careful about the constant acceleration braking. He's gone now. So that's a good jump. Does Aussie stay with him? Not quite, but you've got Marty and Yusuf. And they're all going to stuff. But that's a dive
Oh,
bomb from Liquid Jake. I wouldn't say dive bomb, but he just manages to hold around the outside. Does Yusuf? So Liquid Jake trying to get the move done. He can sense a podium. He feels like he's got the pace. But Toddy, he's got the second gap already. But you've got Yusuf right on the back of Marty B. Marty has to go defensively. Ken Yusuf, that got close to the wall. There is a little bit of a gap. There's contact between the two, but Yusuf gets the job done. Up into P3. Can he go and chase the top two down? Two down now.
and Marty B had to concede that position, but he's still not in a. He still hasn't lost the fight yet. He's still within grasping distance. Yusuf making a lot of positions up in this race, but also taking advantage of maybe a different downforce. It looked like he had absolutely no downforce on that straight. It looked like he was on 0-0 wings almost, but he is sitting right behind Aussie on the exit of turn 12 as he comes round turn 13. They head down to 14 and now into turn 15. Sits behind, gets a wonderful exit out of there, sitting like less than 4 tenths away. He's 2 tenths behind. He's going to try and make this move. He wants Toddy. He can smell Toddy. He can smell Toddy. Red Bull just up the road, already pulling out almost a 3 second gap. Yusuf is going to go for this move. Comes from behind, fakes to the left, goes down the inside. Aussie just has to let him go, and Marty B has already out of the 1 second gap. And also Liquid Jake going down the inside of turn 1 on Marty B. Marty B lets him go, and that's a beautiful, beautiful overtake by the Inter's debut.
100%, and we've now got the two championship challenges right next to each other. So Marty not quite the pace, and Mercy's got to try and get a bit more of an advantage. He was losing points to Marty, but he's not now. Mercy goes into the P5. Can he hold the move down the inside? He can. Marty down to P6. So again, not quite having the pace, but Yusuf, he's got 2.5 seconds to catch. He's got 3 laps left to do it. So we'll see what Yusuf can do in clean air on a brand new set of soft tyres. Aussie just sort of staying with him. Aussie needs to stay with Yusuf because if he loses DRS, Liquid Jake's got plenty of speed that if he's not careful, we may not have any McLaren on the podium at this stage.
Yeah, look, they are dropping down like Led Zeppelins. But Yusuf, he's pulling in a bit of a gap. He's brought it down from 2.4 seconds. He's pulled almost 2 tenths in the last couple of corners. I have a feeling that we're going to see some fireworks on the final lap. But back to Liquid Jake has fallen back a little bit, got Mercy right behind him. So he's looking behind him to make sure that he keeps that McLaren behind. We're not going to have DRS on this lap, but we're going to have DRS on the last lap, which will make it extremely spicy. Marty B now dropping out of 1 second with Daniel Starr right on his gearbox as he rounds turn 20 to come down, and Daniel Starr down the inside overtakes the Ferrari on the straight safely before turn 1. Oh, but Marty B's coming back at him. He's decided, no, thank you. I want to have a go at this. Round the outside. Daniel takes the inside, but gets the move done into turn 1.
Yeah, couldn't quite do it, unfortunately. Marty obviously slipped back into the toe, but around the outside he couldn't get the move done. But Liquid Jake having to pressure off Mercy, and I think Mercy a little bit more downforce perhaps on the McLaren, jumps back up into P4. So
Yusuf catching up to Yusuf catching up. He's made up a second on Toddy. He is almost like he is just making up time hand over fist here. We're going to see something unless I'm not. Oh no, he's dropping back to 2 seconds, but he's made up quite a bit of time. Back to Liquid Jake and Daniel Starr. So Daniel Starr just sitting behind Liquid Jake now. Liquid Jake behind Mercy. That's what I was trying to say.
Yeah, so Liquid Jake's going to want to try and stay within a second so he can have the use of DRS. And Mercy's going to try and hunt down his teammate. Aussie won't want to give this up too fair. I know his teammate's in a championship fight, but Aussie would want to try and finish on that podium. So I don't think it's going to be as easy of a move as we think it is. But he's got 1 lap left to go. Toddy has pulled out more time in the second sector. So again, that's where Toddy's strength is with a little bit more downforce. So as we come down the start finish straight to just about begin our final lap of this exciting Tier 2 race that we've seen. And we've had 4 safety cars, we've seen plenty of action, and it's going to be Yusuf and Toddy, but it's going to be Parallel Aussie. Can he hold on to P3? Mercy's really closed up, and Liquid Jake's there as well. So who can get this final podium position? I think Mercy might actually have him here. Yeah, Aussie was slow again out of turn 2. Aussie's trying to defend, but it wasn't too bad of an exit from Aussie that time around, as we've got a three-way fight. Daniel Starr sort of out of it. He's dropped a couple of seconds off this pack. And
And
Toddy,
look,
sorry, I was going to say Toddy's included
oh,
as the Battle Cat.
someone's round. Battle Cat's round.
Oh, he's in the
Is that
wall.
that is turn 3.
So I'm not sure if he's had a helping hand, but it's the second race in a row from him that he's been involved in a last lap incident and no front wing. So again, Battle Cat's going to be dropping down the field and only scoring a couple of points. But the other Red Bull is nearly 3 seconds ahead, and you feel like this race is done for the winner. Yusuf holding on a brilliant P2, and actually Mercy's dropped back to a second. So Mercy really needs to close in back to his teammate, otherwise he could lose P4 on the line, as he does pick a little bit more time up as we come around turn 15 for the final time. It's got to be close between 3rd, 4th and 5th to see who's our final man on the podium. But as we switch back to our race leader, Toddy, he's pretty much had a flawless race so far. He's had to make moves once or twice on the safety cars, but he's had pace out front. And as we come down to the start-finish line for the final time, it's going to be Toddy who takes 3 in a row and wins your round 14 race at Baku. Yusuf comes across the line, P2, great podium from the back, and it's going to be Rossi just over his teammate Mercy. Liquid Jake on his debut finishes a brilliant top 5. Daniel Starr in P6, Marty in P7, Wayne Morris, great job from him in P8, Buster with the good recovery drive in P9. Elaine Santa will finish just inside the top 10, and then it's going to be Broseph and the Battle Cat who cross the line to bring up the rear of the field. As that was an exciting last part of the race, Tetris, as we have a bit of a breather ourselves. Great race from Toddy. Yusuf, probably fair enough, being given the drive of the day by the game, and I think from probably the pair of us, a great drive from him.
Oh, look, notwithstanding that lap 1 incident, we don't know exactly what happened there, but definitely drive of the day from my perspective. Yusuf just fighting so hard after having such bad luck with the game. But congratulations to Toddy. Toddy, Yusuf and PRL Aussie hanging on to the P3. That is your podium for today. Oh dear. Out of 18 starters, only having 12 finish. What a action-packed Tier 2 race. And also Wayne Morris, a very commendable P8, mate. Well done to reserve from Tier 3 in Tier 2 with all of the quick boys. And to bring home a top 10 finish, that is wonderful stuff.
Yeah, it was a great job. As we look at the results for round 14 Tier 2, Toddy takes the win. I wasn't real comfortable at the end. We thought Yusuf may have had a chance, but manages to hold on to win 3 in a row. Yusuf from the back of the field, pretty much. I know he started at P15, but he didn't set a lap time in quali. And Aussie as well. It was going to be a close fight between both McLarens and Liquid Jake, but Aussie holds out in the end. Mercy, Liquid Jake, Daniel Starr, Marty B, Wayne, Buster, Elaine, Broseph, and Battle Cat were your finishes. And then all our retirement, Sam, Deadly Fuller, A-Dog, Medi, Bang, and Swiss Lord, we lost on lap 1.
Yeah, a very unfortunate finish for all of those drivers that didn't make it across the line. But yeah, pretty exciting race. We'll see if we can get some of the, we'll see if we can get the
top 3 in, yep.
The top 3 into the chat, so we can have a quick chat to all of them. Look, I definitely agree with you. Driver of the day today for me is Yusuf.
Yeah, 100%. As I said, he had great speed. I think he was P4 on that restart, P3 on that restart. But it was the second last safety car we had making moves that got him into that position. So it was a great drive from him as we get the boys in. But yeah, great job from McLaren as well. I mean, they were we thought double podium from them, but still P3, P4 helps them overall in the constructors and builds that gap on Ferrari, and Mercy does gain more points on Marty B that we sort of thought that he might have actually lost a couple, but no, he actually manages to get another 5 or 6 odd, so that will increase his gap to about 14, 15 points once again. So it helps his race as we head into the final part of the season.
Look, I think the McLaren pit wall, they won't be totally disappointed with that finish. They were looking at a double podium, obviously, but they won't be completely dissatisfied. 3 and 4, that's going to help them in the tier constructors, but it's also going to help them in the overall constructors for this season. And also a massive commendation to Jake for his first race, P5. It was P5, wasn't it?
Yeah, P5. Yeah, great job. You thought he might have pinched the podium. He was in that the pack at the end with both McLarens just crossing the line. I think it was like half a second between all three of them. But yeah, fantastic outing for him. As we've got a couple of the boys in here now, we're just waiting for Yusuf. So we'll have a chat to Parallel Aussie first, mate. You had to work for that P3, just held on at the line, but fantastic drive from you tonight.
Yeah, thanks, boys. It was a great team result, as you guys were saying, and a fair bit of team play between the two of us through qualifying and the race, helping each other out and working to big points.
What was, firstly, congratulations on your podium, mate. That was really well raced. You could see that you guys were definitely working together in that in all of the stints. What was the chat like when you guys swapped positions just before that last safety car, and then the safety car came out and you had to double stack? Was there a huge amount of chat and there's a lot of, oh, what do we do?
Not really. We knew that the second car would probably lose a few spots. Same as the first safety car, we were running right together. We had to double stack both times. I did double stack the first time, Mercy the second time. That was bad timing on Mercy's side. I just said to him, all right, I'm going to pass you here, and then the second I passed him, and came out of the safety car, so he got a bit screwed by that one, but he was able to fight us way back through the fourth, so basically maximised everything today, I think.
Yeah, you both had some really good pace, so congratulations on your race, and congratulations on bringing home a podium. I believe it's how many podiums you got this season? Looks like a quick look.
Second, I believe. So obviously, which one was it? Monaco or I think the track before? But as I said, speaking to you before a couple of rounds ago, you found your form in the second half of this season. Obviously, you're helping Mercy pretty much wrap up this Tier 2 Constructors title. Obviously, Vegas next week, end of Hell Month. Do you reckon you can find another podium then?
We'll see. I've got no idea how the pace will be there, but probably not particularly good. Definitely not my favourite track, but saying that before this race, I wasn't really expecting much from this track either, and pulled out, so might get another pleasant surprise.
Yeah, 100%. But yeah, great drive from you, holding on. Another podium for you, and yeah, hopefully wishing you all the best for next week. But yeah, big congratulations on the P3 this afternoon.
Yeah, thanks, boys. Thanks for doing the comms. It's good work as always.
No worries, mate.
Cheers for that.
Congratulations. We'll see you next week.
All right, as we hopefully we can get Yusuf in here, but I'll talk to my particular driver, Toddy. 3 in a row, great drive. Looked like you were running a little bit more downforce, and that sort of just helped you in the middle sector. And as I said, that's a flawless drive from you. I think you only had to pass 2 cars after a safety car restart, but other than that, perfect drive from you. How was that one?
It was stressful, won't lie, and thank you. Those last couple of laps after that last safety car was very stressful. Yusuf started catching, and then I was so worried he was going to get me. And then he started dropping off, and I got the win, but kept it clean. Baku's always going to be a stressful race. That castle section is scary every time you go through it. Doesn't matter how much you play this game, that castle will always get someone.
Yeah, 100%.
Great race. And I'm happy I got 3 in a row.
Yeah,
that is your hat trick, mate.
Yeah, everyone's hating Hell Month except for you at the moment. You've won all 3 races, obviously Vegas next week. But going back to Baku, we thought you were running a slightly higher downforce than the guys around you. Was that true? You were a little bit stronger in the middle section with the extra wings.
Might call that an understatement. My time, I was going to do 34:27. When I found out that everyone else in my party was doing like 15:10, I made it to 25:20. So it was a lot higher downforce than what most people would run, but I like a higher downforce car, and obviously it worked because I didn't bin it.
Yeah, well, that's what we're going to say. I will mention my butt cheeks were a little bit clenched when you tried to go for Wayne, I think around turn 14.
Yeah, I
I
had an
was,
idea, but then I was like, no, I'm backing out.
yeah, thankfully you did. Otherwise, you would have been copping it for me later on. But that got really close. But as I said, I think a great drive from you, obviously 3 in a row. Vegas next week, how are you feeling about that one? Can you knock out all 4 in Hell Month?
Probably not. I'm not very confident with Vegas. I don't really like the track. I tried it, and it's just constant spinning and slipperiness, and I can't really find a fix to it. So I'm not really confident I'm going to do well. But you never know until it starts. You never know until the race happens.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, big congratulations on you for 3 in a row. And yeah, we'll wait and see what you can do next week in Vegas.
Yeah, cheers.
Tetris, do you want to have a chat to our P2 and I think rightly deserved driver of the day, I reckon?
Yusuf, congratulations. Welcome to Sky Race Control for Inters. Congratulations on P2. Starting at the back of the grid, you had a horrible moment during the before the red flag when your game crashed and you couldn't qualify. So just talk us through how you approached the race from the start.
Yeah, it was a good race. I found this race extremely tricky. It was just lack of practice. I think really fun driving out there. Some sportsmanship from the McLarens came in behind, but Mercy had to double stack obviously, which got me place. At the end, the softs felt amazing. I think I overheated them probably too much and had a bit of a moment, and that's why Toddy held on to it. But yeah, I think it's great.
Yeah, well, we could see you at the end. Like after you got past PRL Aussie, you were about 2.8, 2.9 seconds behind Toddy. And then the next lap, I looked at the delta, and you're like 1.5 seconds. So I thought, oh my gosh, this is going to be this is going to be interesting. The last lap. So what happened? Because then you dropped back again. Did you have a bit of a moment?
Well, sorry, I'll cut in. Can't hear you on the stream, Yusuf, so just might want to change your audio
Your
settings to
microphone
allow,
settings.
yeah. Yeah, all good. Oh, hopefully the guys can
How's
let
that
us know.
now, Wayne? Just give us a testing 1, 2, Yusuf.
Test one, test, test.
Excellent. I think we've got the thumbs up. So yes, what I was asking you, we saw your delta drop back after you'd made up a heap of time after you got Aussie. Did you have a moment, or did you just like decide to just ease off and were you happy with P2?
Yeah, I reckon after I got him, I started pushing a lot because those softs felt amazing. After a few laps, I think I was just too harsh on the struggling with it all weekend. So yeah, I think it was a bit out of reach.
Yeah, look, from experience last night, from my tier three race, the softs at the end, we had a late safety car as well, and for the first 2 to 3 laps, it was just like everything was on rails, and then all of a sudden, the rears just dropped off a cliff, and you were sort of sliding everywhere. So, I feel as though that's a thing at Baku because it's such a rear. It asks a lot of the rear tires, and it asks a lot of the rear differentials. So. Yeah, look, again, congratulations, mate. What a fantastic drive. Driver of the day for tier two. For tier two. Oh, before we go, what happened in lap one?
Yeah, I think just a bit of lack of concentration. I reckon. Sorry to Swiss Lord, but
All right. Cool. All right. Well, thanks for jumping in. Great race today. How you feeling about Vegas next week?
Yeah, I'm quite confident going into Vegas. From past races, I think I've done quite good there, so I look forward. Maybe I can get my first win.
Excellent. Well, we wish you the best of luck. Scotty, you got any questions for Yusuf before we take it away? I will take that as a no. All right, Yusuf, thanks very much. We will catch you next week. Good luck for your race at Vegas. Well done on your drive today.
All right. Sorry, I was muted, so I was just talking to myself. But yeah, no, I had no questions. But yeah, that was a great drive from Yusuf, and obviously keeps his good runner form going. But that's going to wrap us up. Tetris, thank you very much for joining me for Tier 2 tonight. We saw another cracker, as we usually do in Baku.
Always a pleasure, Scotty. Thanks for having me. And we thank you everyone for joining us on Twitch. Tune in tomorrow afternoon at 4 o'clock Australian Eastern
Five.
Standard.
Five.
Oh, 5 o'clock Australian Eastern Standard Time for Tier 1. It's going to be an absolute cracker.
Yeah, and you can watch me boat around this stupid track. But hopefully I can finish because I'm still annoyed about Monaco and the Thai Strait at Singapore didn't quite work out for me. But thankfully we've got no rain tomorrow, so I'll be happy with that. But yeah, looking forward to that one. And yeah, we know how good Prince is. Obviously picking up a couple of podiums in the OFI events that we've had over the past week. So he's going to be in some good form, as well as KLX and Leo and a few of the other boys as well. But yeah, looking forward to Tier 1 tomorrow afternoon.
Yeah, good luck tomorrow afternoon, mate. I wish you the best of luck.
Yeah, cheers for that. And yeah, thank you everyone else for watching at home. And we'll catch you tomorrow afternoon for Tier 1, Round 14 at Baku for Inters. So until then, we'll catch you next time.